Imagine a flat stretch of Indiana highway in 1960, cornfields rolling endlessly in the summer heat. And then, like a mirage, a shiny new strip of shops appears. Glass storefronts, neon lights, and a grocery store anchoring the far end. It wasn't just a place to shop, it was a promise. A promise built by two brothers from the Midwest who would quietly rewrite the rules of American retail. Their names were Melvin and Herbert Simon. And this, right here, was the seed of an empire. They started small, Melvin, Simon, and Associates, working deals where the key to construction wasn't a bank loan, but the pull of an anchor tenant. Sign a grocery store or a department chain first, and suddenly the rest of the smaller stores would come running, paying higher rents for the privilege of sharing space with the big name. It was simple, almost obvious, but few in the 1960s saw the long game. The Simons did. Over the next 3 decades, the world around them shifted. Suburbs sprawled, highways cut through farmland, and malls became the temples of American consumerism. By 1993, the brothers made a move as audacious as their first, launching Simon Property Group in what was then the largest REIT IPO in history. They didn't just want more malls, they wanted all the malls. 2 years later, the merger with DeBartolo Realty sealed it. The Simons were no longer just developers, they were the dominant force in American shopping. By the early 2000s, Simon's playbook was ruthless in its precision. They scooped up properties from Rodamco, snatched luxury outlet giant Chelsea Property Group, and absorbed the Mills Corporation with its massive entertainment-anchored complexes. When other landlords saw risk, Simon saw leverage. And in 2020, while the retail world crumbled under bankruptcies, Simon went shopping, literally, picking up distressed brands like Forever 21, Brooks Brothers, Lucky Brand Jeans, and even partnering to keep JCPenney alive. They weren't just saving stores, they were stitching their tenants into the very fabric of their business model. But there was a storm no one could ignore. E-commerce wasn't a trend, it was an earthquake. Whole anchor stores went dark, parking lots emptied, and the mall, once the beating heart of suburban life, began to look like a relic. That's when Simon made its pivot. Gone were the vast, dead spaces of yesterday. In came high-end restaurants, luxury gyms, climbing walls, and immersive experiences. The mall was no longer just where you bought things. It was where you did things. Then came the pandemic, retail's apocalypse, some called it. But while weaker landlords folded, Simon did what the Simons always did, adapted. Rent collections roared back, funds from operations surged. By mid-2025, occupancy sat at 96%, with the company even raising its annual FFO guidance. Luxury names like LVMH weren't just leasing, they were competing for space. And the empire kept expanding. In Miami, Simon took full control of Brickell City Center's retail and parking for nearly $550 million. Back in New York, Smith Haven Mall was being reborn with Zara, Mango, Sur La Table, a curated mix aimed squarely at a new generation of shoppers. At the helm through all of it was David Simon, Melvin's son, a man known for aggressive deals, quiet confidence, and more recently, an open battle with pancreatic cancer. Yet even while fighting for his life, he was grooming the next generation. Eli Simon, his son and the company's chief investment officer, had already left his mark, famously closing the Taubman Centers deal during his own engagement party. It was a story so perfectly Simon, family, business, and empire intertwined. Herbert Simon, the co-founder who had seen it all from the early Indiana days, retired as chairman emeritus in early 2025 at age 90. It was the symbolic passing of an era. And yet, in the boardrooms and the bustling concourses of Simon malls today, his imprint, and Melvin's, is everywhere. So when we talk about credit in this dynasty, it's more than just ownership. It's the through line from two brothers' first strip mall to a 50-plus billion retail juggernaut. It's the family that not only built the walls, but reinvented what happened inside them, again and again across 6 decades. The Simon Mall dynasty is not just a business story, it's a story about survival, about recognizing that when the crowd moves one way, you can still win by standing your ground, if you're willing to rebuild the ground beneath your feet. And as long as the Simon name hangs above the CEO's door, it's a fair bet the malls, outlets, and city centers they own won't just survive, they'll keep finding ways to matter. Long after the old mall era has faded from memory, the dynasty will remain.